Wide aerial view of a modern mansion by the cliffs. A solitary woman in uniform walks through the manicured gardens. Everyone knew Julian Kade. Billionaire tech mogul. Ruthlessly brilliant. Private to the point of mystery. But no one. Not his board. Not the tabloids. Not even the woman sweeping his marble floors. Knew what really brought him to his knees. Because the woman he fell for wasn't who she claimed to be. And what she was hiding was bigger than the empire he built. Inside the mansion, gloved hands polish silver, feet move swiftly over marble, quiet elegance in every corner. Her name was Mara, or at least, that's what her badge said. Soft-spoken, sharp-eyed, she kept to herself, cleaning quietly, listening closely, perhaps too closely. One morning, Julian sees Mara humming as she waters plants outside. For a moment, it softens him. Mara had that rare kind of presence, quiet but impossible to ignore. Her beauty wasn't loud. It was in the way her gaze lingered with meaning, in how her silences said more than most people's monologues. She wasn't chatty like the others. She never pandered, never flinched at Julian's sharp remarks. She carried herself with calm precision, like she had nothing to prove, yet everything to protect. Her movements were graceful, efficient. Her uniform never wrinkled, her posture never slouched. But it was her eyes, watchful, unreadable, that unsettled him the most. Julian wasn't used to being seen past the surface, but Mara looked at him like she had already figured him out, and simply chose not to say it out loud. That's what first pulled him in. Not just that she was different, but that she made him feel different. Less like a name on a building, more like a man who still had something to discover.
She doesn't pretend. She's the only one who doesn't pretend around me.
Julian had inherited the mansion from his late parents, but rarely stayed long. That summer was different. He was avoiding something. Maybe someone.
He's been in the library for 6 hours. Does he even eat?
The encounter. Mara, bringing a tray to Julian's study. He's reading documents. Their eyes meet.
Don't just stand there. Sit. I don't like eating alone.
She hesitated. A maid never sits. But something in his tone. It wasn't a command. It was loneliness, dressed in power. That was the first crack in the glass. The growing intimacy. They bond over quiet things. Books, coffee, music. He's drawn to her simplicity. She begins to feel guilty for lying. The growing tension. Candlelit dinners in the study. Conversations over wine. Quiet laughter. But Mara never shares anything. Julian, teasing.
You know my company's market cap and my board's drama. Yet I know nothing about you. So who are you, Mara?
Well, someone who's trying to forget who she used to be.
Every time Julian tried to pull her closer, she gracefully stepped sideways. He wasn't used to that. Women chased him, but she hid from being found. Romantic shift begins. Julian brings her to a rooftop dinner, claiming it was a thank you. But the candlelight, the wine, the quiet music, it was a date in disguise.
I don't know what this is, but it's the first thing in years that hasn't felt like a transaction. You make this place feel human again. I forgot how to laugh. You reminded me.
That's because it isn't. And I wasn't trying to. I guess. You made it easy.
They almost kiss, but she pulls away, haunted by her secret.
You're the one man I shouldn't want, but every second with you feels like betrayal, to both of us.
The secret. Mara alone, opening a hidden file on an encrypted drive. Old court records, scanned letters, a woman's photo, her mother. Mara wasn't a maid. She was the daughter of Mara Vargas, a woman whose presence once disrupted the upper corridors of power at Kade Enterprises. Annalise wasn't just beautiful. She was magnetic. The kind of woman who made people listen when she spoke and stare when she walked away. Not in an overtly seductive way, but in how she carried dignity like armor and intelligence like a blade. She had started as a junior analyst, working twice as hard to prove herself. When Victor Kade first noticed her, it wasn't because of how she looked, it was because she dismantled $1 million mistake in a budget meeting no one else had the courage to speak up in. From there, he promoted her. First to executive assistant, then to something unofficial. Victor was known for many things. Discretion was not one of them. Their affair was whispered about in back offices and boardrooms. But when Annalise became pregnant, the rumors turned cruel. She was accused of manipulation, blackmail. The powerful made sure she fell hard. But the twist? Victor was not Mara's father. Annalise had already ended the affair before she found out she was pregnant. The man who stepped in, quietly, lovingly, was Thomas, the company driver. A man with no wealth, but limitless loyalty. Mara's real father was a kind-hearted chauffeur who stood by Annalise when the Kade family tried to destroy her. Mara grew up watching her mother suffer in silence, not from poverty, but from the emotional ruin and whispered rumors that followed her. She came to the mansion not for vengeance, but for the truth, to see if Julian, the heir to the Kade name, was capable of being different than the empire that broke her mother. The emotional conflict deepens. Mara watching Julian sleep on the couch after a long day. Vulnerable. She places a blanket on him, her fingers trembling. She had fallen for Julian. Not for the wealth, not for the power, but for the man who let his guard down when the world wasn't watching.
I was supposed to take him down, but what if he's the only one who can pull me out?
The truth erupts. Julian finds the hidden file Mara left open on the laptop. Betrayal flashes in his eyes. Julian, furious, shattered.
Mara, tell me, was all of this just research to you?
It was revenge, but then it became something else. You became something else.
So did you ever actually love me?
That's the cruelest part. I think I did too much.
Love born from deception doesn't die quietly. It explodes. It destroys before it heals. Meanwhile, Julian opens a locked box from his father's drawer. A letter, addressed to Annalise. The letter confessed everything. Guilt, shame, a silent apology never sent. But it confirmed Mara's story. Her mother Annalise hadn't lied.
He was a coward, but I don't want to be.
The reconciliation. Mara walking away from the mansion with a suitcase. Julian chases after her in the rain.
Mara! Stay! Not for the lie. Not for the past. Stay because we were real. We are real. And I love you.
I don't deserve you.
Then let me choose to love you anyway.
They kiss. Not as Maid and Billionaire, but as Mara and Julian, two broken people choosing each other. Months later, Mara and Julian in the garden she used to sweep. Now, she's planting roots. They say truth sets you free. But sometimes, it wrecks you first. She was never just a maid, and he was never just a billionaire. She was the storm that exposed the rot. He was the man who dared to rebuild from the wreckage. In the end, love didn't save them, but it gave them something they never had before. A reason to stay. If this story moved you, remember there are always truths hiding behind titles, wealth, and silence. Subscribe to Hidden Truth Stories where love, lies, and redemption collide.